My name is Kelvin Smith, and I'm from the Echo Valley 4-H Club. Today I'll be presenting to you my speech named Rethinking 4-Year Agricultural Degrees. Today I want to talk to you about the much needed shift in how we prepare our future agricultural professionals. Specifically, how we can reshape the scope of a 4-year production agricultural degree. From a system dominated by classroom lectures to one centered on hands-on, real-world internships. Let's start with the reality we're facing. Agriculture is not theoretical. It is not a discipline confined to PowerPoint slides, textbooks, and lecture halls. It is an industry rooted in the soil, in the sweat and strategy of those who grow our food, manage our land, and feed the world. And yet, the structure of most 4-year agricultural programs are stuck in the past, still dominated by traditional passive learning. Students can spend hundreds of hours studying crop rotation, livestock genetics, ag economics, or equipment technology. Yet graduate have never operated a combine, managed a calving season, or dealt with drought conditions on an actual farm. That gap between knowledge and application is not just unfortunate, it's unsustainable. So why should we change this model? First, agriculture is changing faster than ever. We're seeing explosive growth in technology, GPS-guided equipment, drones, AI-driven planting schedules, and precision nutrient management. These innovations are not best understood in lectures. They're learned by doing. Sitting behind a desk won't teach a student how to troubleshoot a failing irrigation system during peak season. That is only learned in the field. Second, today's students learn differently. Research consistently shows that hands-on experimental learning boosts retention, engagement, and critical thinking. When students are thrown into the real world scenarios, making decisions, solving problems, seeing the results of their choices, they not only learn, they care more. The learning becomes personal and powerful. Third, the agriculture industry needs work-ready graduates. Producers aren't just looking for people who know the science. They need people who can show up on day one and contribute. Internships especially, those that last full seasons or repeat annually, can build that readiness. Students learn how to work with a team, manage deadlines, adapt to weather, balance budgets, and communicate with suppliers. Those aren't soft skills, they're survival skills in agriculture. Now, some people will ask, won't this weaken the academic integrity of a 4-year degree? And to that, I say, absolutely not. We don't need to abandon the classroom. We need to balance it. Core scientific concepts, policy discussions, historical context are still needed, but they should support the hands-on learning, not replace it. Think of it like this. The classrooms set the foundation, and the internship should build the house. You need both to build something lasting. Others may worry about cost or logistics. And yes, implementing widespread internships takes partnership, planning, and flexibility. But we're already seeing some successful models. Some universities now require semester-long farm placements. Others offer cooperative programs where students alternate between classroom and field seasons. Industry partners are eager to train and recruit young talent. They just need a system that encourages it. So what can we do? 1, colleges must reframe their priorities, rewarding programs that emphasize internships, applied research, and community engagement. 2, departments of agriculture and education should offer incentives, grant funding, curriculum support, and accreditation guidelines that promote the hands-on learning. 3, industries must step up, opening their doors, mentoring students and treating internships not like free labor, but as investments in the future of agriculture. 4. We as the communities must advocate for smarter, more practical forms of education that truly prepare students to lead our food systems forward. To the students here today, you deserve more than lectures. You deserve experiences that challenge you, grow you, and get your boots dirty. To the educators, your impact multiplies when your students apply your lessons under open skies. And to the ag leaders in the room, if we want to secure the future of farming, ranching, and food production, we must build that future with our hands, and we must teach our students to do the same. Let's not just teach agriculture, let's live it. Thank you.
Thank you. How would you implement the rubric in the field and measure learning outcomes?
So if you made a rubric out in the field, it would be mainly on how they put themselves in that situation, how much they help, how much you think they learn, if you see improvement from one time to the next. And I think that's what we need to focus on a lot, is not just doing it one time, getting people out in the field multiple times a week, or even for a whole semester, getting them out in the field. And the rubric would be seeing the improvement, seeing what they learn, and then towards the end, seeing if you can just have them go out and do it. And the rubric would be based on how much they improve, and how they learn it, and how well they would do it.
So do you think that students would receive a standard degree? So if you had an ag crops degree and you went to 3 Mile and then you went to Pacific Ag, do you think that a student that received an ag crops and each went to those locations would have the same standard degree at the end of the program? Does that make sense what I'm asking?
Can you try to rephrase that a little bit? Just
So if you had 2 students and they were seeking an ag crops degree per se,
Yep.
and they went and did 2 separate experiences, how do you ensure that a future employee would know that that kid received essentially the same degree even though they had different experiences?
so they would get taught based off what they're trying to go in and learn. So if someone went to 3 Mile, so 3 Mile is a big dairy, but they also have farm, they have huge irrigation systems, and they have big like manure pits where it's transferred to irrigated water. Depending on what that kid wanted to learn, so let's say they're out there for crops. Like you said, they're learning that out 3 Mile. You're not getting much difference in terms of what you're getting taught, as long as you're on the field learning the same and getting that same degree and what requirements are inside of that.
Would it make more economic sense for these internships to be paid or unpaid, since they're still going to be part of education and college costs a lot of money?
I think it would make more sense for them to be unpaid. That way the kids are making themselves go learn, and they're actually wanting to involve themselves in learning it, because if they're getting paid, then it's just something they're gonna go do and try and do a good job at, but at the end of the day, they don't care as much because they're getting paid for it. And if they're not getting paid, then it makes the students actually care about what they're doing. It's their grade, that's what's happening out in the field.
One last question. Knowing the education system as it is now, you're a young man looking at college potentially the next few years, how are you going to ensure that you get a diverse education facing the system as it is currently?
So I've looked at quite a few colleges at what I want to be at, and this past January I was up in Wyoming for a meats contest, and I went through and looked at all their facilities and thought like this is very hands-on. Their meats team is cutting meat, processing animals, and that's the hands-on that people need. So while going to Wyoming is a good choice, there's a bunch of other colleges that ensure that you will get the hands-on, but there are a whole lot of colleges in the country that don't. And like Oregon State, how one of their 4-year degree ag classes is completely online. You get no hands-on there, so I wouldn't want to go there for an ag degree. I would want to go find a college that I know for sure and that I've visited has hands-on learning, not just in a classroom.
Very nice. Thank you.
Yep, thank you.